I'm your host, Ike Hewlett, and in today's show, we got a couple of quick hunts for you. The first hunt is opening day of archery season in Missouri, and I have a rule on opening day. My rule on opening day is if it's a mature animal, it's going to get an arrow put in it. I've got an empty freezer, and when I see a mature animal, I don't see a deer as much as I see a meal. So on opening day, if things rarely come together for me, but on this hunt, everything came together for me. Everything happened pretty quick, and was actually able to harvest a nice mature doe on opening day of archery season in Missouri. Well, here it is, day one of the 2015 deer season. I taken off work today, took a vacation day, and I'm headed to the woods. So I've got a ground blind set up where I've been seeing a lot of turkeys, been seeing a few deer, and been seeing a young buck in there. So if it's a turkey or a mature doe, then I'm going to go ahead and put my tag on something. But I lost one of my properties, the property that I've hunted last year because they're building a house out there. So I found out about it about a week ago. So I got it. Luckily, I got a new property back in June, July, something like that. So got a little bit of time to scout it, and got a few tree stands put up there. But it really just changed my game plan altogether this year. So because the other property was all crops and woodlands, or crops, and this property is all woodlands. So it's all oak trees and a few pastures, and the deer just aren't on it yet because of the oak trees. So once the oaks start dropping, then the deer are going to be on it. But until then, the deer are really just passing through from time to time. So for my game plan, it's just, like I said, it's just drastically changed this year. And I'm going to go out this morning, setting a ground blind, got a south wind, and for an opening day, 63 degrees, and you can't ask for much better than that in September. So here comes the dog to wish me good luck, I guess. Hi, Molly. So I'm gonna head to the ground blind now and see what we can do. Alright, it's time for our tip segment. Tip segment this week is brought to you by 30-06 Outdoors. And this tip is it's a very important tip, and it's something that can frustrate you, but it's actually something that's very easy to do. So we're going to talk about sighting in your bow. Sighting in your bow has a general rule that you need to follow, and that rule is to follow your arrow. So if your arrow is impacting to the right, you want to move your sight to the right. If your arrow is impacting up, you want to move your sight up. down, move your sight down, left, move your sight left. So it's very easy to do. You want to do this, I generally start at 10 yards, make sure that I'm safe and that I'm going to hit the target with my arrow. From there, I'll back up to 20 yards, and at 20 yards, I'll follow my arrow. If I'm hitting off to one side or I'm hitting up or down, I'll just simply move my sight in a direction that my arrow is missing, and from there I'll slowly start dialing it in. Now I'm going to do the same thing at 30 yards. My pins are going to start at the top and work their way to the bottom from 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on if you have a multiple pin sight. And you're going to do the exact same thing with those pins. You're going to use your gang adjustment to set your left and right. You're going to follow your arrow, and then you're going to set your each individual pin for the correct yardage. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy thing to do, but it can also be very, very frustrating. And again, the rule is follow your arrow. So if your arrow is to the right, move to the right, left, move to the left, up, move up, down, move down. So that concludes the tip segment for this week. Again, this week's segment is brought to you by 30-06 Outdoors. Well, that's one of the easiest tracking jobs I've ever had. At first I thought I hit her in the spine. I wasn't quite sure what happened because I had her right here at 22 yards, and I'm shooting a G5 Havoc broadhead, and I'm shooting a prime bow, shooting this rival, and shooting out of a ground blind. And I didn't have time to range her. I just figured she was 20 yards, and when I hit her, she absolutely went down dead in her tracks. And I mean, she turned around, she kicked her legs a few times and was done. And I thought, well, maybe she was closer than that, maybe I hit high. But as you can see, we'll show some close-ups of this here, but I hit her about as perfect as you can hit a deer. I hit her right here, and that Havoc went through to the other side and actually broke the offside leg. It hit right in the offside shoulder and actually broke that offside shoulder. And that's what did her in. That offside leg was just crumbled. You can see, I'm using an SD Hunter from Deer Crossing, and these are about 435 grains. So big, heavy arrow, or for today's standards, heavy arrow. And I'm shooting about 65 pounds out of this rival and putting out a lot of kinetic energy. And it went through, that 2-blade Havoc went through, made a massive amount of damage. Just a huge, huge entry hole, and went through, hit that offside shoulder, and just destroyed it and dropped her in her tracks. Took a vacation day off work today, get out here in this nice cool weather, got out here, and 9 months of preparation, and we got a deer down. Within an hour of my first day in the woods, I got a deer on the ground. I studied, I knew where these deer were moving, I knew this doe was coming right through here every day. I knew that this bow was dialed in, I knew my arrows were performing, my broadheads were performing, I knew all my gear was performing well and doing what it's supposed to because of the last 9 months of preparation. And this is what the benefits, this is when you get to reap the rewards, is when you have an animal like this on the ground. And thank you, Lord, for letting me harvest this animal. I am so grateful for this animal, and could not be happier with opening day. This is what I come out here for, was to kill a deer. This doe in particular, she had a yearling with her. It was either last year's baby or this year's, I don't know, but she's definitely big enough to take care of herself. So absolutely no worries about that other deer that was with her taking care of herself. So starting to rain on me a little bit. I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna cut this thing up, put some meat in the freezer, and enjoy a bountiful harvest and enjoy some really good eating. And couldn't be happier. And thank you for providing this deer for me, Lord, because I am so happy to have this beautiful, wonderful animal. So for more information on the products that I use and the sponsors that we use, you can go to the website and you can click on the hunting page and you can click the links on there. Alright, so you can see there, I wasn't kidding when I said this was a quick hunt. This was an hour into season, hour and a half into season whenever I harvested this doe. And I shoot a really heavy arrow by today's standards. I shoot a 425 grain arrow for whitetail, and it really hit that deer and hit her hard, and it done a lot of damage. And actually I think she was coming down because that arrow actually ended up lodged in her spine. When I was gutting the deer out, I found the broadhead lodged in her spine, and it did a lot of damage, and it dropped her right in her tracks. So I was really happy with the performance of the arrow, the bow, and I mean, this was just one of them hunts that everything went right for me, and those don't happen very often. So it was a real blessing to get that deer on opening day, and it was a real blessing to have everything go exactly the way that I wanted it to go. So I really had a great time on this hunt, and really was nice to get a deer on opening day and get some meat in the freezer. Okay, our next hunt is another one of those hunts that just everything went great. This is a hog hunt in Oklahoma from a couple years back, and I really haven't used this footage for much, so I wanted to use it here to just show you guys some of the fun that we have when we hog hunt. This is a hog hunt that, just like the doe hunt you just watched, everything just went perfect. Everything just went right. This hog came in. We were literally there for 30 minutes, and we were walking, and this hog came in, offered me a 20-yard broadside shot. I was able to take the shot, and I was able to put this hog down quickly and efficiently. Had a lot of fun doing it, and had some really good meat for the freezer and some really good meat for the grill, which is what I really like to do with my hogs. So sit back and enjoy this one, because this one happens pretty quick, but it is a pretty exciting, pretty fun hunt. Dead hog. That's a dead hog. Alright, so I found my arrow. Got good blood on it. You can see, I mean, it's just got good lung blood on it. So far, we have not found any blood, though. I know I made a good shot on him. Know I hit him good and got a complete pass-through on him. So far, we have not found, other than the arrow, the blood on the arrow, we haven't found any blood. So we're just going to continue scouring and see if we can run this thing down. All right, we got our hog down up here. As you can see, got my bow back where we started. Approach him with a pistol in my hand, just in case. He's been down for a while and he doesn't look like he's breathing, but you never know. Part of me wants to just run over there and joyous. That is a big hog.
Wow, that's nice.
Look at the cutters on that thing. Look at the cutters on that bad boy. Oh, baby. Let's see this hole. Look at that. That's what got it, is the hair soaks up so much of that blood. That, I mean, you can't ask for a better shot than that. He was perfectly broadside. And let's see what the entry hole looks like. All right. Oh, I shot him a little far back. That's why. Shot him a little far back. I thought I shot him up in here.
I was seeing that too.
Shot him a little far back though.
Yeah, you shot him in the...
Damn near gut shot him.
Livered him.
Livered him, yep. Look at them cutters. Alright, so here he is. I didn't make as good a shot on him as what I thought I did. Hit him a little bit far back, which to me would have been right. For the camera, it would have been left. Went about 130, 140 yards, and we were able to track him down. So, deer crossing arrows really blew right through him. I got this carbon overdrive set on about 70 pounds, and I'm shooting about a 525 grain arrow. And it just blew through him. It didn't slow down a bit. I'm real happy with this hog. He's the second biggest one I've ever killed. He's going to weigh in about 190, 200 pounds maybe. Good cutters on him, and just a great hog, and we had a great hunt. So that concludes our 2 hunts for this week, and you can see by watching these that both of these hunts went exactly as they were planned and exactly like someone wrote a script. I mean, absolutely perfect, and that does not happen very often. At least in my hunting experience, it does not happen very often. Most of the time, things go horribly wrong and just kind of seem to go from bad to worse. So we started out with a couple successful hunts that have that went great and went perfect, and hopefully from here we can build on our positive and our negative experiences and share those with you. Be sure to check out our sponsors too. We really appreciate these people helping us out. These are companies that I believe in and products that I've used for years and had a lot of good success with each one of these products. So be sure to check out these sponsors as well, and we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and we hope to see your comments below. And please like, share, and subscribe so we can keep making these great videos for you guys, and appreciate all the time that you guys have spent and all the support that you've given us on Ike's Outdoors as well as this new show. Thank you.